that means the table is vibrating it.
I mean, you said you could feel it, and I touched it. I was like, oh, wait, you can feel it.
There's a vibration.
There's so much energy on this table that you can literally feel it in the wood.
Yeah, and I've spent time trying to understand the architecture of the table and why it would be doing that. Why is it vibrating like this? You know, like, do all tables just vibrate like that? But, like, you put the thing on the ground and you don't get anything from it. I go outside and put it in the dirt, nothing.
Dude, that's crazy.
You put it on this table, instantly fires off. We don't have paper towels right now, so... By the way, this is probably the last time you're ever going to see this set the way it is.
I cherish this set. This was...
Can we talk about that for just a moment since we're live?
We've had this set for a whole month. Literally just set it up.
We did. We had it for 1 month. And this is an old studio. I guess it's my basement in a sense, but I set up my basement when I originally moved into this house years ago to be a studio, you know, because I've always loved film school. I know, weird. But anyways, long story. That's another day for another time. This has always been a studio to me. And now we are redoing it. And we are about to have a new studio. And it's going to be... I don't even know yet, because it's one of those things where I look at it and I'm like, it's a canvas. We're looking at a canvas right now. We get to kind of do what we want with it.
Well,
so.
Chaz, I am an artist, and I look at blank canvases all the time.
And that's why I'm already... Didn't we already sit down and look over all this and start talking about that?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe in the astral. Did we have an astral meeting and I wasn't there?
Shit.
Bro, you can't be having an astral meeting without me being there in the astral.
I thought you were there. I'm sorry. Hey, by the way, someone said they want us to give them a crystal tour.
Oh.
And when I saw that, I was like, you know what? That's actually not a bad idea.
We do have a plethora of crystals.
And I don't know, there's a part of me that's like, I kind of want to wait, though, to do the proper video that I want to do showing the properties of these crystals. Because it's one thing to talk about some of these and what's going on, because, like, they're doing things right now.
It's crazy. What is that thing called that you have?
It's an EMF meter, I guess, technically.
So he has an EMF meter.
An electromagnetic frequency meter.
I've never seen the action of a crystal or how much electromagnetic field it's giving off. Right?
Yeah,
I've never visualized it before.
Yeah.
He started putting it next to these things, even these Orgone pyramids, which are, you know, something that I made, and I've never actually seen what they do or the amount of electricity or energy that they generate. And oh my God, it was the coolest thing to experience, to actually see them in action.
That was the weird part to me, is I didn't realize how much was going on this table.
No.
Like, each one of these are all producing their own electrical field and pulsating right now. And you can put up the meter and you can get near it and move it around. And not only does it show this, but, like, based on what I know about the Malagu and how magnetism and electromagnetism should work and how we would actually measure and meter them, it does hit how I would think it would. For instance, what I mean by that is if you stay still on some magnetic fields, you don't get anything. But if you move it back and forth, you'll get a measurement now.
Interesting.
But if you just stop, you don't. But if you move it, you do. And that always fascinated me. Why does it do it like that? Why does this happen? Don't worry. Malagu theory shows why this happens.
So I haven't even heard a whole lot about the Malagu theory. We've talked about it briefly, so I'm going to have a lot of questions during this episode.
And people probably are like hearing this right now, and they're like, what are you talking about in any capacity? Is this like a sports reference, or like, what are you, is this some spiritual theory you have? Like, I'm sure people have no idea what the Malagu is, and that is its own problem in itself, but like it explains these things in ways that like creep me out when I think about it, because these are electrical and all they need to do is vibrate. And just the fact of vibration gives off electrical energy that we can measure and meter. And then all of them are doing it. Everything on this table, every stone, rock, every pyramid, they're all giving off electrical energy right now. In fact, that one, to to be honest with you, seems to be the most energetic of them all.
And it's crazy because all this is resin and gold flakes.
Mm-hmm.
And like the gold flakes I got from Hobby Lobby.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was not expecting this one to generate or have that much energy within it. That's absurd.
Yeah, that's again, I go back to like it's got to be the pyramidal shape combined with the fact that you have gold flakes in there that are very conductive.
Is it the size of the pyramid too, you think?
Could be. It definitely could be.
I mean, it's a very compact gold flakes in there. You know, there are a lot of them.
Yeah, and it's like it's more dense full of it. You know, like you have one like this and you have way more area that you're going to need to fill up with gold flakes.
Right.
So therefore, you're probably not going to get as much unless you had this same proportional amount in there. You know? And so at that point, you're going to spend a whole lot more. You're probably not going to end up doing it. But like this little guy gives off a ton of fucking electrical frequency, and that's crazy to me.
So we need to start making these smaller ones. Yeah. I mean, the bigger ones too, but we'll start putting them on our site and people can come and buy them. Hopefully we'll be able to charge a very low price and you'll be able to start having these generators surrounding your room or your environment.
And I'm going to make a video where I show you this. I want to show it to you. And I want to show the fact that like the coolest part to it to me is like I'll put the EMF meter up to it while it's on the table. You get the signal from it. You'll see that there is a electrical signal coming from it. And then all you do is just lift it off the table. Instantly goes to zero. Gone.
Absurd.
That means the table is vibrating it.
I mean, you said you could feel it, and I touched it. I was like, oh, wait, you can feel it.
There's a vibration.
There's so much energy on this table that you can literally feel it in the wood.
Yeah, and I've spent time trying to understand the architecture of the table and why it would be doing that. Why is it vibrating like this? You know, like, do all tables just vibrate like that? But like you put the thing on the ground and you don't get anything from it. I go outside and put it in the dirt, nothing.
Dude, that's crazy.
You put it on this table, instantly fires off. This table, and you can take all of them off and just put one on here and you'll get the same result. There's something about the table is vibrating at such a frequency that those, well, again, what did we say? Is that these crystals, they find the resonant frequency and they resonate naturally. So at that point, they would fucking just do it.
They tune to the frequency?
That's the theory. That is what they say. They say that it would.
That is so freaking cool.
It's hard to find the science on that one, to be honest with you. And really, Tesla, I think, is the one that said it in something I read of his.
Imagine knowing that and be like, no, we got to shut that down. Destroy all of that information. Can't have that getting out. Because no, you can't tell people these are energetic crystals and then say you got to pay for your electricity. Yes. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We can harness this stuff and you're making us pay for it?
Yeah, and use it in your circuits. That's what he was doing so that you could take the electromagnetic frequency of like the ether itself, the amalgam, and you could actually then channel it through a quartz crystal to naturally resonate it and then get amplification from it. You know, because like the hard part of tuning of this is that you got to wrap a coil around a magnet so many times, X amount of times, X thickness, all of this plays into what frequency you can resonate that coil at. So if you get one ring off, then it's not going to resonate very well. You need to be perfect between the two. Crystals solve that problem. You just put a crystal next to it and it resonates at the frequency. Dude, that these gnats, man. I don't want to get into it right now.
I love the crystal talk, and we're going to do a whole video about crystals and pyramids and just diving deep into this stuff. I want to change out the squeaky seats back to the OG seats. I keep moving, like, it's just too much squeak, and I really don't want the listeners in their car or something to just hear these tiny little...
Do you think they can hear that?
I don't know, and I don't want to ruin this episode. Well, they can. The TikTok can hear it because this isn't a...
That's a different...
Yeah. This one doesn't hear as much, but still,
Well, then let's change them out.
I'll grab them. I'm going to shut that door too.
Yeah, so the sound and everything.
Yeah, double check everything.
Sometimes you just have to understand that some people are artistes and they have a style and they've got something, a vision that they have to, it's got to be that way.
Are you talking about me?
No, dude, you're not an artist.
Oh, okay.
Are you serious right now?
Just maybe.
I'm the artist here. I built all of this. I designed all of the stage. All of this stuff that you see was all because of me. All the video editing that y'all see on TikTok, all me.
All Chad.
All me. I did all that.
Ass up.
Yeah, sorry. Mm-hmm. I want y'all to know that that was all a bunch of lie.
It was a July.
And all I do is just show the fuck up, guys. He does all the work, man. I just show up. So everybody give him credit, please, when y'all can, about how good his production value is.
Chaz, that's absurd. Thank you.
All right, don't give him any credit. Oh. You know, in fact, tell him how bad it is.
You know what? I don't like these chairs. Let's go back to the other ones.
Are you serious?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God, I was like, but are we doing this?
But no, I actually do like the other ones more. But the sound, I'm scared of the sound. I don't know what that's going to be like. And plus, we've done these chairs every episode that we've done it in here, so like it's fine. It's just a little more uncomfortable, especially if we're in here for a couple hours. And we love you too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love you. Hey, someone said love you guys.
I felt it.
Thank you. And Bill lost. He asked when does 0 point energy machine drop?
Wait, you can't be saying those words on here, I don't think.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
Get banned again.
Let's just put it this way. If I had this device, this accumulator device that you'd speak of, I'm not telling anybody. I may hint to it in some videos in the future if we were to have something like that, but it's all theoretical. Let's just say that. It's all theoretical, all right?
We have to be careful.
Yeah, you really do.
Especially with what we're about to talk about. We don't know what we're diving into, and we know people have vanished before.
Yeah, it's like I don't care about making money. It's just
getting the truth out there, though.
How do you get it out so that everybody can have it? That would be the goal, but like that's so much easier said than done. Like I've done the research into that. You're probably going to die trying. You know, it's like you really got to be careful if you really do accomplish something like that.
Yeah.
That you're walking down some dark territory. The only thing I have going for me is I'm a crackpot in a basement with no degree. So, like, no one gives a shit about me. And they'll look at me and be like, dude, he didn't do that. Get out of here. You see this guy? Like,
we got to find the culprit.
Yeah.
It's not him.
It's not him. Look at that Jeremiah guy. He's got to be the guy.
And then I dropped out in the 7th grade. They're like, wait, never mind. These two are idiots.
He didn't even go to school. Damn it.
What is happening here? How are these two nerf herders doing this?
Yo, that's some truth, actually. There's truth to that in my head, that like we're almost semi-protected because people will be like, there's no way. There's no way. The only reason anybody took Terrence Howard serious because he's like a famous actor.
Yeah. Turn cuckoo conspiracy head and like, oh, you're speaking some truth out there, aren't you?
They didn't like that shit, dude. They shut that down real quick.
Especially when you know a face and they start talking about it. Russell Brand did the same thing. He started going conspiracy side too. And like, especially coming out of Hollywood, like, you know some stuff. You know some stuff.
This is true. This is very true.
Especially if you've been accepted into certain cults and and said no to it and then got out of Hollywood. Yeah. Like, I wonder if they have security nonstop.
They said mass drop of it so they can't sweep it under.
How mass drop?
Like, take what we've done. If you were to build this device and the schematics of it and just mass publicize it on the internet, give it out, put it on Twitter, put it on make videos about it. Just get like one day pre-planned, just bam, just get it out on every platform you can immediately. So you overwhelm it so they can't, like, it goes too far too fast. You almost like prepare, like we get enough of a following on our channel. We could possibly pull it off by being like, guys, here it is. We're going to drop it. Everybody's got to reshare it immediately so it spreads like fucking wildfire and nothing can come from it. And even if I were to die, it's irrelevant because it got out. That's like the goal then, right? So like,
yeah,
just get it out.
Literally, yeah.
And don't care about anything else. The only problem is like you have to have undeniable proof that is real. Otherwise, people will just deny it.
It can't be a conspiracy. It has to be fact. Even on our end, at least. You know, like
even making a video of showing it, people will claim that's fake. You have to have undeniable truth in a way that I don't really even know how you do just yet. Anyway,
we will figure that out. Let's roll the intro. Thank you for hanging out, talking to us about these crystals and stuff. We love them, and want more of them, and we're gonna make more pyramids because they're freaking awesome, and we want everyone to have one.
True. This is true.
We'll probably do some giveaways of pyramids and stuff. Like, I honestly think that would be really cool. Merch, giveaways, shirts that say "Wiggle my electron."
Yeah, dude, I want that shirt so bad.
You know how cool it's gonna be. It's gonna be great.
You wiggle my electron.
We've got a couple quotes that we're gonna put on some shirts. Maybe the Harry Potter one.
Dude,
like
I gotta do like me with like a wand and a Harry Potter hat, and it's like.
Yeah.
Harry Potter's trying to tell me how the pyramids work. You know, like that would be, yeah, dude, I would love that shit.
Epic.
That would be funny. I just say random weird shit, dude. You know, it's like, that's totally unscripted. And that's the funny part to me is like, I just feel like I'm being an idiot. And then people are like, yo, that's actually really funny. And I'm like, it's not to me, but I think it's comical. Y'all think it's funny.
Well, and it's like, it's our personalities.
Yeah, that's just who I am.
This is how we were having conversations months. We were doing this for 6 months before we started rolling cameras. This was not something that we linked up one day and was like, yeah, let's make this happen. No, this took a minute for us to actually be like, dude, we can't ignore this anymore.
We have to get into it.
I was talked into it myself. So
you were like, yo, you got to do this. And I was like, I've kind of tried this podcast shit.
This is not a podcast.
You know,
this
and it's totally
the
different.
Future.
It's totally different. I do believe that we do have something different happening. At least I want to believe that, because the skeptic in me always says like, nah, it's nothing. You're seeing patterns and things that aren't real. And then there's another part of me that's like, it's hard to deny the pattern when you have 5,000 new subscribers in the first month. That
first month.
Yo, thank y'all for
Absolutely.
real. Like, thank y'all. That's not really us. Like, we didn't pay for that. You know, it's like we didn't do anything. So like, that's y'all. But like, it's weird to watch. That's not what I was not ready for that.
It's beautiful seeing this community come together, in my opinion. All of these, because these are crazy conspiracies that we're talking about, but so many of y'all are on board with it. And like, we resonate heavily with the things we talk about. A lot of the time, there's only a few times that we're talking about some crazy stuff that we're like, I don't even know if we believe this yet, but like, kind of feels like it could be.
But yes.
But y'all are resonating with the stuff we're talking about. And that's heavy. That speaks volume, strength. It speaks something, and we love it.
I'll take whatever it is, because I didn't think that was ever going to happen. So,
welcome back to Awakening 101. Today, we're talking Maligu. And I know that word sounds absolutely ridiculous.
That's why I like it.
It's so good. You came up with the word the goo theory, and I was like, oh my God, that's great. I love it. And then the next day, you were like, whoa. I changed the name. It's going to be Maligu theory. And it was through text, so I didn't technically know how he was pronouncing it. And then I came over, and he was like, the Maligu theory. And I was like, yes, yeah, beautiful. Rolls off the tongue. It's
the Maligu.
It like goos out of your mouth.
Yeah. It just goos right on out. It's malleable goo. It's Maligu. And it's the way I start to see the ether. So if you're wondering what this is really a quantum physics theory of mine on the universe and what's really going on. And we have been calling it space-time, or the ether, or the Egyptians called it the net, this water fluid like substance that we exist in. And what is it, and what comes from it, and how does it? This is what I have tried to spend my life. I've like dedicated an abnormal amount of my life to.